I'm joined now by Kirsten Kukowski, National Press Secretary for the RNC. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Good. In states like Ohio, how are Republicans going to argue that things haven't gotten better when you have a 3 percentage point drop in the unemployment rate?
Sure. Well, so President Obama is going to Ohio today to the same venue that he was at 2 years ago, and where he made a promise actually that he wasn't going to stop working toward job creation until everyone had a job. And I think 2 years later, if you ask anybody in Ohio, similar to across the country, that isn't the case. He has stopped, and I think we've seen it in the last couple of weeks, especially the last 2 weeks ago. What was he focused on? He was focused on his Buffett tax gimmick that he couldn't sell to the American people this week.
Well, I have to interrupt you there because the polls show overwhelmingly that people support the Buffett rule.
Well, I think when they actually hear what's in it, they do not, and I think that's
it's not very complicated. It's a 30% tax on people who make over $1 million a year. There are many proposals that are very complicated out there. That doesn't seem to be one of them.
Well, I think that when you see that the president has done over 20 events since the State of the Union, specifically on the Buffett tax, and has changed his explanation for what it does at least 7 times in the last 2 weeks, I think that shows you that he has a problem selling that, that policy to the American people.
Let me ask you about what Ted Nugent had to say, and I'm sure you know what the comments were, that conservatives must cut the heads off Democrats. He compared the president to a coyote that should be shot. Pretty violent rhetoric from a guy who, frankly, the Romney campaign has embraced. The candidate himself said he was pleased to get that endorsement. One of his sons tweeted about it, that he was excited to get Ted Nugent's endorsement. And yet, when he was asked to disavow those comments, he put out a generic statement that did not name Ted Nugent by name. The DNC has called for a disavowal. Will you, as a spokesperson for the RNC, disavow the comments of Ted Nugent?
Chris, I think that we need to all put this into perspective because, not so long ago, President Obama was on the stage saying that, if you didn't have a record to run on, you would talk about small things. What do we see the DNC and the President Obama's campaign talking about? Small things. They're talking about Ted Nugent. They're talking about dogs. They really, this is a small thing at a time when our country needs a big thing.
If it rises to the level of the Secret Service investigating the comments, does that make it a small thing?
I think that what the American people want us focused on right now is how we're going to create jobs and turn the economy around. So I do think that we all need to be talking about that right now.
Let me ask you about some focus groups that NBC News did. 12 Republicans and GOP-leaning independents in Tampa just last night, where it was clear that many of them had reservations about Mitt Romney. And the thing that they mentioned most often was flip-flopping and inconsistency, despite saying that they were probably going to vote for him in November. Do you think that the support for the presumptive nominee is soft in that way? And what does he need to do to get Republicans to more enthusiastically rally around him?
No problem. Sure. I think that what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, Governor Romney has actually had a very good couple of weeks. You've seen conservatives, all Republicans coalescing around him today. He got an endorsement from Mitch Daniels, governor of Indiana. So I think that you're seeing people coalescing around him. Now, I think we're still in a primary. The numbers are what they are, but over the next couple of weeks and months, I think we're all going to be behind Governor Romney, and I think that we all feel pretty good about that.
RNC National Press Secretary Kirsten Kukowski, thanks so much.
Thanks. Have a good day.